Yo, so real quick, I've been thinking about this whole content thing. Thinking about becoming an influencer, thinking about becoming a video essayist, thinking about pushing myself to the absolute limit if I'm going to really cut this short at at November. Thinking about what type of job I would get, thinking about what type of place I'm going to be at come next year. And I've never given myself a clock like this, a year. And I know that come October, when I answer the question, which you have no idea what I'm talking about, that I asked my head mod Globus the Elder, I wonder what the response is going to be when the clock is at 30 days. I'm going to give it my best effort to not only be a content creator that niggas fuck with, but one that gets invited onto this shit. I really want to be up there with RDC World. I really want to be up there as like, yo, that nigga's cool. I come around, I'll do a little space this, a little do this, that, and everybody's like, yo, it's a highlight when he come around. He only come around once every 2 months, but he fuck with us. And with multiple communities, I'm everywhere. Everybody invites me to the party. I've been thinking about mainly what I represent when I've been on these panels, when I've been on these talk shows, when I've been on these, because like at the beginning of this, it was really accelerating a lot faster than I thought it was. And it wasn't exactly my notoriety, it was my invitations. Being on the Tammy Mack Late Show, being a part of the Grapevine, being a part of history that people respect, understand, and admire. I still remember the day I was on the panel with Vosh for Black History Month. And I remember people coming in and the YouTube comments and everything, yo, this Paradigm dude is mad dope. And I've been thinking a lot about how when I do something to hit, when I do something, it hits. When I try, it hits. When it hits, it hits. And some people say, if you do that, as I told you before, if I do that shit once and it pop, I'm gonna have to keep doing it. I was just watching a video from like a year ago where I was still quoting the same fucking line. And I've been thinking about like what that requires, because, sometimes I'll get 700 views on a video. Sometimes I'll get 5,000. Sometimes I get 30. Sometimes I get 50. And I think to myself, like, what is the difference in certain pieces of content I've done and why that resonates more with people? But then, like, I try to follow that system, and then the old system of me uploading what I care about gets more views. So it's like, it's not, if it's both sides are just like, then it's just me being underrated. And I've heard that a lot in my life. And that has been one of the things that like burrow in my head all the time. It's how people have said over and over and over again, yo, you're one of the best photographers in New York City. I'll win an award here, or I'll get a publication here. Like all of this, all of this, all of this, all of this all of this just starts resonating harder and harder and harder as I'm spinning down this pathway, because it's enough to walk around, and this isn't gimmick Paradigm. This is just Marquise talking to you right now. The gimmick part of it with the whole tribal chief thing, as much as I love it, I've always thought that at some point, maybe some people feel a little intimidated by it. And while that's one thing, people have felt, and I've seen, sadly, Discord shots and DMs, like people thinking I suck the energy out of the room. Not in even a bad way. Like, I'm the energy. Like, they don't want me in certain places. And I'm not going to say who, because at this point, who the fuck feels like dragging this shit out longer than it ever has to be dragged out? I feel like I consistently keep ending up I keep ending up with this, and I don't even want to say it's like a violent thought in my head, but to me, it almost feels like I'm being asked to quiet down. And I hate making it about this. I really do. Because as I started having these thoughts, it's like, yo, you never know, bro. Come January, next month, you want to upload a video. FD Signifier going to hit you up for the wrestling video. This, that, and the other. You never know, as long as you get that shot, as long as you keep those connections, it's not like this will ever go away. It's not like the paradigm shift is going to go somewhere off the deep end and never be seen again. If I'm 40 and I got a kid, I'll still pop onto this shit to make a video when I feel like talking about something. But that's 10 years from now, and I gave myself a year. So as I'm trying to figure out how to build this thing, I keep getting lost in this. I'm supposed to collaborate. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do that. And then I really reach out. And what gets me so steamed is that I can look at people who I've tried to do that with. And when they were starting out, it was all gang, 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 gang. Then they pop off a little bit, I don't hear from them again. I don't want to keep building relationships where I have to try to tell people, yo, what I'm doing here can represent more than your normal YouTuber. I love Kenny JD to death. There's no but here. I love Kenny JD to death. Kenny JD don't do what I do. I don't do what Kenny JD do. If you put us in a room together, I can adapt to that format. That's something a lot of broadcasters can do. You can't take a League of Legends player and tell them to have you can't tell a League of Legends player to all of a sudden comment on, let's say, a football game if they've never watched a sport before. And I'm only doing that not to say that that's what League of Legends players are, just that's what I saw on my screen as I'm talking to you. I'm looking at the Twitch homepage. I look at people with hundreds of viewers, hundreds of subs. I try to understand how the matriculation of communities comes together, and there's rarely ever any mixing. It's like everybody's in a box. Some people get promoted by Twitch. Some people get promoted by bigger streamers. There's always some level of, it fucks me up to think that at any given time and place, I might just be the wrong person. I might just be the wrong person at the wrong time. And that would suck because I don't want to give up on this. And that requires, and I've told my viewers this before, but now I'm telling myself that requires you to find niggas with money who watch this shit and want to invest in you. That is the only way this is going to continue. And I'm quite aware of that. I'm quite aware that, at some point I might be eligible for ad revenue. My shorts might pop off. One day I get a raid from a big ass streamer, 3,000, all new niggas coming in here, and they're like, yo, give us 5 minutes to pitch yourself. And I got a great fucking beginning pitch, but then you got to get updated on the lore. You got to get updated because I provide more than just sitting here watching YouTube videos. And that's not to shit on anybody doing it. Kid Boga does the scammer shit. That's beautiful. Kid Boga ain't popping like that on Twitch, so I'm not worried about that because that also goes into a YouTube segment type of thing, and that goes into a YouTube Twitch connection. So I just keep analyzing and reanalyzing. Maybe I should go to TikTok, make a couple of stitches, and then from there keep making stitches, and then people will come to the Twitch, and then somebody will do something, and it's I feel like I'm being quite literally dragged in different directions on how to gain support from people, how to gain visualization, and that juxtaposes with What I just told you. Kenny JD. I could sit in a room with Brittany Broski and that shit'll be a riot. I know that for a fact because I've been around people who are like Brittany. That weird shit, I love that weird shit. I love that let's record an hour's worth of just us being funny and stupid under the guise of like whatever theme you're working on, like the Queen's Court. Like, I got great ideas for that. I got great entrance ideas for that. Do you want a different set idea? Because I can give you a different set idea. I can tell you where to build it, how to find it, what lighting, did it. All of that experience is something that I truly believe is valuable to every single person I run into. I've made fighting game interactive overlays. And fighting game players on Twitch have asked if there was anybody who could do that. And the chat would just be like, just download it off of Streamlabs, just download it off of Stream Elements. And they're like, no, I want to make it myself. Like, how do I do the moves? And people don't know. And I just happen to be that one person that can sit there and be like, I can tell you, I don't want any views. I don't want any clout. Just next time you see me in your arena, he valid. Leave him alone. You know, we talked about the Majority Report and me being on the Majority Report and talking to Sam Cedar. I'm like, yo, the fans need it. That's not because, oh, that'd be a great look for Paradigm. No matter where you put me, if you told me today, yo, you have a news interview live on CNN at 4 p.m. Okay. I got my clothes ready. I know exactly what I'd be wearing. Okay, I gotta drink about 32 to 40 ounces of water to make sure my voice don't dry out. Fill up the water bottles, have class IDs. What are the topics gonna be about? I can set it up while I'm going. All right, I know that like today, my lazy eye looking extremely lazy, so we're gonna keep it to that view. If they ask for complete looks, always look straighten up, practice for a second. I can't ask other streamers to know that. So like if you invite me on your show, I'm gonna act like, yo, this is the 10 million niggas is watching us right now. Wherever I'm at right now, 10 million people are watching us. I'm gonna put on a show. I'm gonna make everybody say, yo, that shit was great, dog. Like it's gonna get so high octane that everybody has to come down after they have an interaction with me. And that's fine. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But I shouldn't have to fight for it and continuously prove myself when like I've put on the shows. That's the other part of this that really people, and I guess this is the crux of today's argument and the reason why I'm speaking about this, and this will probably be the title of this video. I feel like, or at least I think, or I know in my heart that people will say, stop talking about how great you are, just show people and it will come. I did that. I have evidence of me putting on actual programs. Name Your Price is huge. I've effectively been able to control a show from my laptop, not even my main setup, my desktop with my big 3 monitors and multiple camera angles. And at home, I have people around the neighborhood who send me stuff and help me set up. Like my boy Kev does the music and shit. I'm supposed to just keep putting on shows and just do that over and over again until it pop. Is this not a revolving cycle of, I don't talk about how great I am, it just exists and people don't know about it? And this is not an argument specifically even to me. I could expand this out to, I've seen this shit in Netflix, big productions. Motherfuckers don't get credit, still gotta prove themselves. Like, I've seen it. I've seen it. So as I have all these thoughts, I'm just letting you know that when you see me put something out there, just know that even if it's just something like this, talking to you, I'm putting my heart and soul into it because I know that's all you're going to see of me this day. Paradigm shift.